Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Ibadan. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Oyo State and its heavens. Welcome to Press Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM, Ibadan. Your trusted source for the latest and trendiest news from around Nigeria. We're glad that you're tuning in, that you have tuned in this morning after a wonderful night rest. Today we're going to dive into the headlines from Nigerian top dailies, exploring the stories that shape our world. And our expert analyst will soon be here or will soon join us to provide insightful commentary on the most pressing issues. So let's get started. We've got a great show lined up for you this morning. Stay tuned as we bring you the best of Nigerian news and analysis. It's time to drive into the world of news. Let the show begin. As you already know, today is the 20th day in the month of May 2025. And starting with the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, we have these headlines on the front page. Local government financial autonomy 1 year after Supreme Court judgment yet to be implemented. That's on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune. Konwa to VCs released 50 billion naira earned allowance not for ASU members alone. That's on page 3. Edun Bagudu Tijani rekindle hope on Nigeria's economy. Capital markets key to achieving 1 trillion naira economy coming from Finance Minister. Economic reforms on course, Budget Minister tells World Bank. And digital economy attracted $191 million in FDI in fourth quarter coming from Minister as well. And $2 billion fiber infrastructure rollout set for the fourth quarter. That's on page 6 and 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Shadow government, DSS acted within bounds, coming from legal experts, and that's on page 3 as well. Ibadan airport to begin international flight early next year, coming from Oyo government, and that's on page 4. OB clarifies stance on 2027 coalition, says it remains in Labour Party. Check that on page 16 of the Nigerian Tribune. A National Constitution Summit, the Parrots, Southwest delegates meets in Lagos on Thursday. That's on page 15. And on Labour Party faction clash again. OT Nenadi Usman-led NCC 6 court order stopping Abure from parading himself as chairman. It's another exercise in futility that's also coming from the spokesman. You get to check page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune. Away from that, and now to the Daily Trust. From the Daily Trust newspaper, we have this one. On insecurity, Navy to establish special command in the same paper. On 2027, Atiku will be denied power sharing deal. Alright, another one on page 8. Another suspected kidnapper arrested on way to Saudi Arabia for Hajj. Imagine. Alright, how costs of passport, driver's license, data shot up in 2 years. Get to check that on page 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust. Zamfara residents flee homes at night, return by daybreak. Bandits kill 4 in Kogi. You can check that particular story on page 5 of the Daily Trust. And from the Guardian newspaper, we have this headlines. Erify alleges corruption among judges. Lawyers seeks return of public trust. That's on page 3 of the Guardian. Your mandatory voting proposal unconstitutional. Falano tells National Assembly, and that's on page 5. Navy destroy 468 illegal refineries as experts prefer oil theft solution. That's on page 3. On page 6 of the same paper, this is on Southwest. Bandits headers invasion put 40% of region's food production at risk. All right, U.S. offers $10 million bounty for information on Hezbollah financial network. That's on page 5. 800 killed in 10 years as communal conflict threatens Niger Delta's economy. That's on page 28. Benue Assembly Speaker decries rep summons, advocates training for lawmakers. That's on page 29. And on 2027, Obi set to declare presidential bid as Atiku explores ADC alliance. That's on page 6 as well of the Guardian newspaper. Akpoti do against petitions IGP, AGF over alleged defamation, threat to life. That's on page 29 of the Guardian. Now to the Nation. INEC recognizes Mogalu has Labour Party candidate. Abure faction excited. That's on page 5. Delta opts out of suit on Rivers emergency rule. States rights Supreme Court. That's on page 5. Achieving price exchange rate stability despite headwinds. That's on page 2 and 3 of the Nation. Federal government to deploy 90,000 kilometer fiber optics to boost internet connectivity. That's on page 5. Sean joins Ibadan to reject Alafin's leadership of Oba's Council. All right, capital markets is anchoring $1 trillion economy targets, says Edom. All right, Bagudu says rise in revenue, debt reduction indicates improved economy. You get to check that as well of the Nation from the Nation newspaper. Southeast Reps Caucus seeks outright cancellation of UTME. That's on page 6 of the Nation. And away from the Nation to the Daily Times. All right, and the Daily Times will be the last newspaper we get to check out this morning. EFCC arrests 120 suspected internet fraudsters in Lagos. That's on page 11. Cancer touches us all. Biden speaks after diagnosis. That's on page 6. All right, we have more. 2027, no position yet on sharing formula between Atiku, Obi. Obedience movement says, and that's on page 2. All right, we have more. Terrorism, stop linking us, Nnamdi Kanu, to Simon Ekpa. All right, coming from IPOB as it tells DSS, and that's on page 2. Tinubu flags of sports festival, insists revived NSC will end power play. Tinubu flags of sports festival, insists a revived NSC will end power play. That's on page 22. Southeast Reps demand JAMB registrar resignation. That's on page 9. And the last headline for this morning, WHO face funding crisis amid US withdrawal. And that's on page 13 of the Daily Times newspaper. These are the major headlines making the rounds this morning. We'll be right back to give you details of some of them. All right, now you're welcome back. Now let's go into details of some of the major headlines making the rounds. And with me in the house is Barrister Fulusho Lakbo. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning this morning, Sayat. How are you today? Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Nigerians. I hope we are all good. Yes, you know, times are hard, and I urge you to just check on somebody today. You might be the game changer. Just call in. Hello, hope you are good. Let us all be our brothers' keepers. All will be well in Jesus' name. Good morning this morning.
All right, let's be our brothers' keepers, he said. All right, let's start with this particular one. Federal government 50 billion naira earned allowance released not for ASU members alone. Konwa warns VCs. The Congress of University Academies, Konwa, has cautioned the vice chancellors of federal universities nationwide not to treat the disbursement of 50 billion naira recently approved by President Bola Tinubu to settle part of the earned allowances owed to the university workers as a union privileged affairs, saying it was released not for ASU members alone. The Congress also raised an alarm about the alleged plan by the leadership of various universities to exclude its members from benefiting from the sharing of the approved earned academic allowances. The national president of Konwa, Dr. Niyi Sumono, raised this concern on Monday in a statement made available to newsmen. Konwa is a breakaway union from the Academic Staff Union of Universities and was duly registered as a separate organization by the federal government during the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. According to Sumono, the federal government released the 50 billion naira to settle all the university workers and not members of one particular union or the other. He argued the academic staff, just like every other university worker, is entitled to EAA on the basis of work done and not union affiliation in the system. Sumono expressed surprise as to why some university administrators, according to him, have agreed with other unions, especially ASU, to sideline Konwa members from benefiting from the 50 billion naira released to EAA. He noted that the attention of Konwa was drawn to this practice when some universities deliberately excluded Konwa members from filling a form sent to other union members to effect the payment of the money. He cited Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, where the immediate past ASU president, Professor Emmanuel Shodeke, lectures, as well as Alex Ekweme Federal University, Ebonyi State, as example. He also alleged that ASU leadership at the national level had warned members nationwide neither to submit any form related to EAA computation and disbursement directly to the university authorities other than the special committee set up by ASU for the purpose, not participate in the meeting involving any other unions on the matter, with stern warning to sanction whoever that goes against a directive. All right, so the story goes on, and this is Konwa coming out and warning VCs, telling them that the federal government 50 billion naira earned allowance released is not just for ASU members alone. All right, as much as I kind of agree with, okay, the federal government released 50 billion naira to universities, not just to a particular union. But would it be fair to say that, okay, let me not assume anything, but let me say that, during the fight, ASU fronted it. And at a point, there was a faction from the ASU, that was where Konwa came out from. And instead of supporting the same cause, they seem to have they stood aloof, and they looked as if they were supporting the federal government instead. You understand? Now this is a fight to finish, and that really brought about, strike, and that went on and on for close to 8 months, if not more. So now they have gotten the money, okay, and I understand if ASU is trying to at least settle their members first. They did the fighting. Just saying. All right, could that be the scenario? The scenario I'm playing, could that have been what happened? Because now even Sanu and Nasu, they seems not to be agreeing with the sharing formula, which brings something to mind, that they are not trying to share the money on their own, but they seems not to agree with the sharing formula, that whoever is sharing is about to share the money. So I want you to react to this sharing formula from Nasu and Sanu, and I also want you to react to Konwa warning VCs not just to allow happen, that ASU is trying to have the money to themselves. Is that really fair enough? So I just want your reaction very quickly on that.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. We've even taken the most of them from my mouth.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. At least you helped me. One, there's no law in this country that forbids belonging to different associations.
No.
And it was that right that Konoa, exercised by forming another association from ASU. And their grievances then was that they do not like the way ASU would usually go on strike or go on about the fight. They started together, but they have their, it appeared they are more conservative than maybe let us be in school, but we can still continue to fight. That doesn't mean they are not fighting for that same purpose. That is one. Then secondly, ASU were fighting for the university lecturers. As an association, they were fighting for the university lecturers and not ASU members alone. University lecturers in this size consist of members of ASU, Konoa, Satrau, whatever. There are so many. And so it's not even, I don't want to use the word unfair. It is unlawful. It is stealing. Yeah. What ASU is trying to do, they are stealing their own money. Because it was not on the basis of ASU that any lecturer was given an appointment.
No.
So it was when you became a lecturer that you joined ASU. So of course, I sitting here would have become a member of ASU if I like, and I'm not a lecturer. But no, since I am not a lecturer, I do not have that right or privilege to become an ASU member. So they were fighting for university lecturers. So to the extent to which federal government agreed and paid the
end allowance
or whatever they were fighting for, then to that extent ASU, maybe probably they might be, quote, the sole, and they are not the sole fighter for that. It is only the differences that it's only the modus operandi, the way they were going about it, that was different. It's not that Konoa are not fighting, they are fighting, but let's be in class. So if we want to fight, we do not need to chase this student out. Let us be, working and still be fighting. So that doesn't mean they are not fighting. So if there is, in fact, assuming, even without admitting that they were not even fighting, ASU was fighting on behalf, okay, for instance, let's say NANS, Nigeria Association of, National Association of Nigerian Students, are fighting the cause of students. And now federal government release some money for students. So does that mean that it is NANS alone that will take that money? No, if any one of them tampered with it without the other students, those ones that hold something from it are stealing, because they are at the average tower. They are the ones shaping the country's economy and everything. So I don't think they should fall to this.
Okay.
But it's unfortunate. If that goes on, I think Konoa should go to court.
To court.
Yes, because to me,
That's
they are
unlawful.
perpetrating illegality, and illegality should not stand. Now to the other one that saying
Sharing formula.
I don't know what is sharing formula. They have, at least there is, like I said, they were fighting for end allowance or end allowance, the one that they have worked for, and they have earned it. That is the meaning. So, and I think there is a way they, their salaries are what you have worked for. Maybe percentage of your salary is your end allowance. It is known already. So why is it going to be sharing formula? Or are they trying to say, okay, Kona, take 10%, Satrao, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, take 2 naira, Sanu, take 1 naira, all like that. It's not done like that. It is a general thing, and to that extent, it should be given as end. That's why they call it end allowance. And I think if care is not taken, this will blow up the university system, and I don't think it should get to that. Somebody should rush to the court immediately and stop ASUS. Maybe I don't know what to call it. Somebody is somewhere trying to do something with people's money, and I don't like that.
Okay. All right. Away from that, very quickly, let's talk about local government financial autonomy 1 year after Supreme Court judgment yet to be implemented. Almost a year after, the judgment of the Supreme Court granting financial autonomy to the 774 local government areas in the country is yet to be implemented. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, had said that there would be serious consequences for any state government that acted contrary to the judgment. According to the AGF, the responsibility for implementing the judgment and ensuring direct allocation to local government falls under the purview of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. It is not clear, however, if the AGF has written to the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation directing the enforcement of the landmark judgment of the Apex Court. The media aide to the AGF, Kamarudin Ogundele, told newsmen that the matter of enforcement of the judgment has been overflogged. He said inquiries should be directed to different sources like the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees and the Minister of Finance, adding that the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is the chairman of the Judgment Implementation Committee. What many saw as a move to delay the implementation of the judgment was the introduction of the new condition by the Central Bank of Nigeria, requiring all the 774 local governments to provide at least 2 years of audited financial reports before they could receive the allocation directly.
But that was not part of the judgment.
That's what I don't understand.
And
but that's been like.
And I think someone should go back to the court and beat CBN to whip it one from leg back. Because you cannot just import something that is not in judgment into the judgment and making it difficult to implement. If that is true, that CBN is requesting for that, of course ordinarily there should be that, but in this system,
but it's also stated here that the Apex Bank stated that the local government must meet the requirement before opening account for direct remittance of their
and that is what I'm saying. That is not part of that judgment.
Okay.
The judgment says pay to local government. So whatever their account is, the CBN the Auditor General for state. The state have the Auditor Generals. The Nigeria, the Federation have its own Auditor General. If anybody want to know anything concerning the running, the finances of local government, NFIU is there. So EFCC is there. ICPC is there. So what concerns CBN with that? I think sometimes people just arrogate much power to themselves. The Supreme Court has spoken. Are you trying to tell us that the Supreme Court do not have the understanding that there must be that? But the Supreme Court did not give that. So if you are putting extraneous matters into a judgment, then to that extent, I think the NOGE or whatever they are should rush back, or even the Attorney General himself, because it was the one that initiated that matter. So it should go back to court and tell the court to warn or restrain CBN from asking for extraneous documents. The judgment said pay directly to local government. That is all. If the CBN wanted the inclusion of whatever document or auditing, whatever they wanted, it would have been stated in that judgment. So, of course, it's unfortunate that the CBN is making things bad or worse than it were. Even I was thinking that it was the fault of the governors, that governors are not making it easy, even for the account to be opened. I don't even know that it is the CBN that is causing that. The CBN should be warned. And I think the Attorney General, rather than just talking to us, he should go back to the court now and tell the court to restrain CBN from doing that and let the needful be done. And secondly, again, apart from that, again, the local government system cannot work now except and unless the administrative functions of local government are given back to them. Schedule 4 of the 1999 Constitution stated the powers of local government. The states have taken those powers from them. What do they call parks and what the other parks? These motor parks, television licensing, tenement or whatever it, debt. What do they call this? The Loma type in Ibadan. They have this that carries debt and what's the I've forgotten.
I'm not sure what you're saying. Anyways, maybe I could have helped.
Yes, you know, those ones that come to your house and collect baggages and every waste.
Okay, environmental.
It has taken them over. The parks, we have the Kinikon Park in Ibadan today. It is supposed to be the work of local government. So apart from just paying them that money, the administrative and legal functions of the local government should be given to them back. Today,
the state government are not willing to.
So that means there is constitutional amendment going on. Okay. I think that one should be introduced into it, so that local government can, be local government. State doesn't have to take the function of local government away from them. State has a way of generating their own IGR, and it's not from the duties of because it is clear, we all know that state is state, local government is local government. At least that is how the Nigerian Constitution, crafted it. We have 3 tiers of government in Nigeria and not 2. So the state has successfully, morphed the local government into state. And to that extent, that is why it is very difficult even to fight insecurity, because insecurity is local. It is the local government chairman that's supposed to know. In those days, it is those people that are living in those local government. It is elderly ones. Our teacher totally retire. Our no man she local councillor. Today, they will just go and bring somebody from Lagos. He will come and become councillor in Egbeda local government. Somebody that doesn't even, maybe was born, bred and schooled in Lagos, doesn't even know anything regarding those places. But in those days, it is people that are living. They know his family. They know everything about him before they vote for him to become councillor. So I think these things have to go. It is not financial autonomy alone that local government wants. Today, it is states assembly that makes law for local government. So then, what is the function of the councillors? Some councillors don't even know why they were voted as councillors. They don't even know how to make law in the first instance. We call it bylaws. So to that extent, you just vote some people as councillors. What do? Nothing. Even the chairman may not even be going to office because he doesn't have anything to do. It's just there marking time. So I think we should, if we are going to have local government, we should have a local government that the constitution, thought about, but it took over it and begin to mess things up.
All right, the last one before we start taking calls. Your mandatory voting proposal unconstitutional, Falana tells National Assembly Human rights activist Femi Falana SAN has charged the National Assembly to reconsider the proposed bill seeking to make voting mandatory for all eligible Nigerian citizens. It described the proposal as not only unconstitutional but also practical unenforceable under the country's current legal and political framework. The proposed piece of legislation, titled Bill for an Act to Amend the Electoral Act 2022 to make it mandatory for all Nigerians of majority age to vote in all national and state elections and for related matters, was introduced by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin. The bill, which reportedly passed second reading last week, aims to curb voters' apathy and enhance participation in elections. However, Falana urged the lawmakers to shift focus from mandatory voting to more substantial reform, particularly the incorporation of recommendation from the Justice Mohammed Uwais electoral reform panel.
Yeah, when I saw that, I thought it was Alawada that is doing something to them at the National Assembly.
It was a bill by Tajuddin.
Yes, I thought it was Baba Salah until I checked it again and I found that of course it's the speaker, the person that was supposed to be speaking for us. It's like Squilla, you read
I don't go there.
I don't know why our cheerleaders making Pewoni. I don't know. I'm sorry because it's very laughable. If you fail to vote, you go to 6 months jail.
Oh, you pay. I think there's a fine or something.
The jail that we have now, it cannot even contain the people in jail. So how many Nigerians?
The real criminals, you can't really contain them.
Alone, some people will just wake up one day, has a brainwave, and begin to bring something to the table.
That particular voting bill, it violates Nigerian's constitution
Expressly. In fact, decision not to vote is to vote.
Okay.
Yeah. You are voting. One, you may not vote because you are protesting. And in fact, many Nigerians are protesting today. So it was stated that this last election, that only 25% of registered voters participated. Why? And that is because people are not so sure that their votes will count. So why don't the National Assembly, make laws for the purposes of votes to count? Somebody will come and take your finger. Let me just put it that way, quote and unquote. And after the declaration that he won the election, he will leave for Abuja and not to come back until after 4 years. You'll be hungry, you'll be thirsty, nothing. The dividend of democracy since 1999, how much do we have? How many percentage of Nigerians, have the whole money Nigeria has? Less than 1.something%. So some politicians will come to you, and even apart from the fact that the votes don't count, you are not so sure that whether you will leave the polling station with all your limbs with you, because some people can just come and begin to shoot. Some people will be injured, wounded. So why do you want to go out in that respect? Some people will come and carry the ballot box and everything. So these are what should have been, legislated upon, and not to force somebody. I have the right to vote and I have the right not to vote. It's my right. But it's a duty as every Nigerian citizen to vote. But I will only vote if, underlined, if and only if I know that my vote is going to count. Not that someone...
Many people are not voting because they don't believe in the system.
Yes, now they don't believe in the system. And that is what they should have. And that is what I think my learned senior is trying to say. That the Uwais report has stated everything, how all these things should work. They were not looking at that. They were saying that force people. How many people will you force? In fact, Allah, I don't understand. So let this National Assembly people, let them make law that, you know, criminalizes anyone that are buying votes. Of course, that laws are there already, but making sure that votes count, making sure that it is the vote, it is the vote that people, yeah, it's the ballot that people cast that are counted, not just the ones that somebody in his bedroom just wrote and they begin to. In fact, look at the federal, the presidential election for 2023. The presidential election, suddenly the beavers did not work. The whatever IREV, everything. If you check the IREV, you begin to see footballers' name, photos of Babalola, the CAC, whatever, in IREV. Oh God, what country are we? And I think, and that is why I am saying, so one, make the votes count. Two, we do not need to go to a polling booth or polling station, electronic voting, where you can sit in your bedroom and cast your vote. You do not need to go there, so that people that are shooting, that want to come and carry the ballot box, will not be able to do that anymore. And again, votes should be, you know, made. People, polling should be made at least 1 week. Give a 1 week. You don't need to leave work. You don't need to declare what is it called, curfew. No, since we have many people have done they transfer funds this morning, and they are still going to work. And it might even be when they were going to work that they are doing it on their phone, and businesses are going on. So why can't we do that for our elections? So I think the person that introduced that bill has something there, and I don't know.
0705 500 1033 0905 444 1033 on Facebook at I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Drop your comment. We'd like to hear from you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, you can try call us back 0705 500 1033. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Tolu.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir.
How do you enjoy? Good morning, sir.
Sure, Sunleni, which one is talking? Tolu, let me not suspect you. Yeah, good morning.
Yes, my submission will be on this action taken by the National Assembly, especially the House of Reps member, to criminalize voting and passing in the country. Sincerely, this is the joke of the century.
Of course.
Yes, and it's another signal that we are all jokers in this country. Sincerely, because I think that these people have a sole responsibility to legislate on bills and motions that should move this country forward. Yes, but it's like they are happy with the situation in the country, because as it stands now, people are being plunked into poverty on a daily basis with the questionable policies of the government, and nothing is being done by these people to call the government to action. See, it is high time we come together as people and think outside the box on how we can salvage ourselves, because these people are not ready. They are not there for us. Sincerely, it is obvious now that they are only after their selfish interest. Because when anything about doing, yes, if they are doing what is expected of them in the country, people will normally go out. They literally go out and vote. But people are not happy. I want them to vote. No. It will never happen. Things are not done that way. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you, Tolu. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my SOP, my daughter.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Daddy.
My SN, good morning.
Yeah,
My SN, good morning, sir.
good morning this morning, sir. How is Jabugo?
Ijebubu is fine.
You're welcome.
On the issue of the money given to Imasi, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, you said it, my SN, you said it correctly. But the federal government is not helping issue. And because in the covering letter, what is in the covering letter? Is the money meant for only ASU or ASU and others? They should be able to specify specifically in that covering letter. Because if the money is not specified, every other union, we have about 6 or 5 union in the university. So everybody want to scramble to get the money. But if the federal government has specifically said in their government letter, like, this money is specifically meant for ASU alone, there will not be any quarrel. That's just my contribution. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, from Tolulope Adeyemi, he added by saying, from every indices, it has shown that we might not have any formidable opposition before 2027, as the crisis rocking them deepens on daily basis. They're joining the ruling party instead of them to put aside their personal interests and put the government of the day on their toes in reviving this nose-diving economy. Obviously, this for the failure of this APC for failing to put them on their toes. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. It's from Uludo.
You're welcome, sir.
The problem of Nigeria largely emanates from the citizens, because we don't have committed citizens. We don't have citizens that are patriotic and nationalistic. So if the National Assembly enact law to govern people to vote, there's nothing wrong in it because of the master party. But we should be reasonable and participate in the next election. We should be reasonable and participate in the election and still representative. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, comrade. I just hope that even if we participate, our vote will count. Hello.
See, even in countries where voting
system is working.
It's enforced. What they usually do is to at least give something, a stipend, maybe for instance, to get some government maybe contract, whatever you want.
Really?
Maybe if your student is in school, if your child is in school, there will be some things and all, some incentives even for voting, and that will bring them back. But in the situation of this country, if political leaders are doing the right thing and they are putting in policies that make lives easier for the citizens, then they will come out to vote. Let's say in 1999, did people come out to vote en masse? Because we were just getting out of the military this thing to en masse. People voted en masse. And okay, in 2003, it has been coming down since then until this last one that's just about 25%. Why? Because the people are not seeing the dividend of democracy. If they are, they will be happy to vote. You that is hungry, somebody is coming telling you to go and queue inside the sun for hours. I think those ones, it's even if they are given, if they spend all the money to build prisons in Nigeria, the place will be overfilled because still people will not vote. Because why should I vote even when I know that the government that I have chosen for 4 years did not do anything for me? Two, the vote that whoever I vote for will not count. Somebody had already written the results, even and all that. So I think if there is incentive for people who vote, then people will come out. But taking people to jail, one.
It's even so bad that even if we copy the style of other advanced countries and incentives are given, some people will still not vote.
Of course.
Is that bad?
And that is bad because the politicians are not doing the right thing.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. All right, you're welcome.
I just want to comment on this issue of Falana. That National Assembly has made, they want to make voting compulsory. These people at the National Assembly, they are just wasting legislative time. Instead of making laws that will make things easy for Nigeria, making things comfortable, they are just wasting legislative time. How can you be coercing people to vote? First, you be willingly from your own bottom of your heart. I want to go and vote. If you go for voting, how you sure that you are going to come back? If you don't talk and ask you on that or the way, what are you going to do? You will say 7 hours at the polling booth. So all these things are just wasting. They don't need to coerce people. They don't need to threaten people with their basement. If before people can come out voting, can come out to vote. In 1993, during this Abiola, people come out willingly.
Of course.
Without police anybody, without any other security, people come out. But now, they are making law that will forbid people from sending their vote. They are just wasting legislative time. Lastly, it is in the news this morning that former US President Joe Biden has been diagnosed to be having aggressive protective cancer. I wish him a quick recovery. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much for caring for Biden. Right, prophetic Olayemi Samuel says, good morning, Ma. God bless you. And Toluwala Shaditola says, it's so unfortunate that insecurity has claimed many innocent lives, including our military men, due to nonchalant attitude of the federal government, because they have all what it takes to fight the insurgency. They should please act fast on the state police and stop giving amnesty to the repentant terrorists. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I greet the analyst in the house.
Yeah, good morning, madam.
On the issue of, I want to react to the issue of us.
Your name, please.
I want please the analyst in the house to please help us. They said it is hand allowance.
Yes.
Is it only ASU that work during that period or that they don't work? They're just telling us that corruption is everywhere. If somebody who is learned, like the analyst, like our barrister said, people of the ivory towers will be telling us there's only one set part of one set that has a right to that fund. And that's fraud. They said hand allowance. Even for works they didn't do, might now become a good thing. They want to share it. They should please have a receipt. So they want to borrow. Then on the issue of gospel posting, those of us that have determined ever since we become of the voting age to vote, this is a decision made personally. Because if you look at what is happening in this country, what our politicians are doing, you actually be discouraged. Most not you can't not decide the natural or people selection. We are just doing Tete now. Tete is the Baba Jebu that our voting is like. So, and how many of their children do go to the polling booth? When we the masses take our lives, like the barrister said, somebody will go to the polling booth, you are not sure of coming back, safe and sound, but they want to pauperize us. They will come again and give them 1,500 naira, one Congo of rice at the booth. They want to force us out. Are we their slaves? It's a pity. It's laughable. Yàláwà dàkẹ́rí kẹrin ni wọ́n fẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n palàpalàpà àwọn nu ọlọ́run. Good morning. My name is Fatumibi from Wakajaye.
All right, ma. Thank you very much, Sister Fatumibi. Hello.
Hello, Marvelous. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. I was just thinking about your voice.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome there.
Sir, it's so funny we have news like this from the Senate and the House of Rep. That is on this bill that they are coming up with for voters. Because thank God you made the analysis clear to Nigerians, and I wish everyone have heard this, because a lot of people will be taking it the other way around, which is not meant to be. Since it is constitutional, then I wish our people will do the needful and stop deceiving us by telling us that it is crime for us not to vote. And I appreciate you because you have really made it clear to us to understand that indeed they allow that carry, and it's not supposed to be. We cannot continue to have leaders at the helms of affairs like this in this nation. A lot of Nigerians are clamoring hard and the like, which is obvious, and they are not seeing anything to do to it. So it is high time for we Nigerians to stop selling our votes. A lot of people sold their vote in Udo State for 25,000 naira, and they are seeing the results by now, which I'm sure they are not happy about. So if they know they don't want this, and all of us in Nigeria don't want this to continue, we should stop selling votes and do the needful by 2027. I know our votes count, so we should do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Bosse. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Prince.
Prince Adifo calling from Apata. I greet the analyst.
Yes, my prince. Good morning this morning.
It's only in Nigeria that I see that our leaders has always forced the citizens to do things. Voting is a civic right. It's a civic right. You know, in the situation whereby our leaders, they know that, with the way things are going, people might not vote in 2027. Then why can't you meet the demand of the people? What are they asking for? Enabling environment, stable electricity supply, stable electricity supply, reduction in fuel pump price. Is it too much? Give us good rules and all that. Is it too much? Give us quality education. Is it too much? It's only when they know that, we've not done anything. And it is a pointer that government at the center has failed Nigeria. How can you be forcing your citizens that it's a must for them to vote, and if they don't vote, they will be jailed and you will punish them? For what? Good morning.
Thank you very much, Prince. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, comrade.
This is Comrade Joshua from Molodo.
Yeah.
So the problem is that those who decide who rule us in Nigeria, they are the illiterate. Those who don't know right from left, the elite, they don't go out to vote. So I think nothing wrong in that legislation. So at least to compel people to vote, maybe that will still sense of participation in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, comrade.
But comrade, how will you enforce it? Assuming 10% of registered voters in Ibadan fail to come out to vote, you will send all of them to jail. Where is the jail? And in all the 36 states plus Abuja. Well, I don't know.
We'll go on a quick commercial. I'll be right back.
When it comes to satisfying your everyday needs, one name stands out: Femiel Multiventures. Whether you're planning a big event, stocking up for your business, or simply craving a delicious meal, we've got you covered. At Femiel Multiventures, we specialize in the wholesale of quality foods and drinks, providing you with all favorite brands at unbeatable prices. Do you need ice block for your event? We've got you covered with solid, long-lasting ice blocks to keep your drinks chilled and your guests refreshed. Are you planning a party or special occasion? Look no further. We offer top-quality rental materials, canopies, chairs, tables, you name it, we've got it. And when it's time to eat, step into our eatery for freshly prepared, mouth-watering meals, perfectly packaged for your convenience. We are located at number 1 Pineapple area in Letutu along Oki Ogungbade axis, Ibadan. For more inquiries, please call 0912-345-4561 or 0904-245-5770. Femiel Multiventures. Visit us today and experience the difference.
Alright, now you're welcome back. Let's take more messages from the Facebook. Oluwashin Ruth says, good morning, Sister Marvelous. This issue of insecurity is causing a lot of bad than good because it's really affecting food security, and this cannot be separated from the farmers that cannot go to their farms in peace. It's time the government takes action in securing our land, and I will implore Oyo State government to continue to deploy more Amotekun Rangers, and other governors in the state should also follow suit if the federal government failed to grant state police. Alright, and Rose Adiola says the tussle surrounding the traditional chairmanship position should be resolved amicably between themselves, and I plead to Oyo State government to take action in solving this crisis so that the peace and unity in the land will continue to grow. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
My name is Adebayo from
Oh, brother Adebayo, it's been a long time. Oh, it's good to hear from you.
Yes.
Happy New Year, Happy New Month, Happy New Day.
Yeah, good morning. This one is long time, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Amen. Are you too, sir?
Nigeria shall be well with us.
Amen.
But can you see that our legislators are crazy? Can you see? So it's not a must that we vote. They are not giving us what we needed. You are now compelling. They are not even compelling us. They are now force us If criminals are not jailed again, it is those that refuse to vote that will be jailed. Okay, that means they are inviting more problems. Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo. And Miriam Yetunde says, good morning. It's evident that APC's cross-carpeting enticement are luring politicians with lucrative offers, causing them to abandon their mandates and constituents. This highlights the need for caution when trusting politicians. Still, I urge remaining opposition parties to unite and work together to hold APC administration accountable and deliver better governance for Nigerians. Boluwatife Ademijuwon says, providing a secure environment is a key responsibility of any government. To safeguard lives and property, I urge the federal government to explore all viable options and solutions. May they receive guidance in making the right decision. Sheriff Salah facing terrorists without adequate modern weapons and other necessities. They lack decent shelter and food. Their salaries is also poor. The government is wasting the lives of innocent people fighting the terrorists. Thank God that very northern governors and their monarchs have rethink and pushed for state police as a key factor to curb insecurity that's ravaging our country. Federal government should do the needful on it. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Madam Marvelous.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you, sir.
Thank God that I need the condition to be my appointment has not been hard. Yeah, regarding the autonomy, the Supreme Court has said it's so. It's now left to the concerned people to inform the Supreme Court because Supreme Court is not a so because it's too bad now, where there's God okay that's power. See how it is as you were before. That's number one. Number two, obedient movement. We cannot blame when Bello that is living, he do the right thing. They will not take off a bad Bello. What is happening now? I don't know how possible for Obi to be a deputy to Atiku. Atiku is the problem today. Even the people that call the movement and the L5 is a noticeable satanic instrument. If they come together, I don't think something good can come out of it. For me, it's too bad. And to say that there will be law to force people to vote, that is out of fundamental human rights. Anybody can vote. If they do well, there won't be any political party or electoral party. They have caused problem for themselves. And the people that are called the voters, we need to educate ourselves. Enough is enough. What happened to Tunisia, Egypt, and other things? I want it to be replicated in this time around. OYEDELE is talking for you. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And a quick look at what Kolawole Adaramola says. He says, our very best friend. All right, Awada Kebuyeri. I laugh in my language. So if I don't vote, they will arrest me. Let them try it. Nigeria is just a circus. It's a place of comedy and confusion. Imagine laws in action. Why is it that Nigerian government always try to shift blame of their faults on citizens, even coerce them? This is tyranny, for God's sake. Our leaders just make mockery of this nation. Unrepentant Boko Haram is there. No law that affect ballot snatching and vote buying is there. Nobody has been jailed. Let them continue. Very soon something will happen. This is the country we find ourselves. This is no democracy. There is no democracy, you mean? This is no democracy, but authoritarianism. Daddy Fashional says, good morning.